It's Jennifer here from Belladonna's Botanicals, and I am bringing you our January 2025 updates. Better late than never. Just was kind of, I get seasonal depression kind of that goes sort of mid-December through early-ish January, and it's been really weird this year. It's been kind of off and on. So it was more on than off, but I think I'm kind of pushing through the other side. But just want to kind of give you some updates on what's going on with me, with Belladonna's Botanicals, and whatever else is on my to-do list, because I'm trying to be a little more coordinated when I make my videos. I'm not one for scripting them too much, but anyways, at least having notes helps keep the ADHD brain squirrels in check. So just so you know, I do have a lot of doctor's appointments and some minor procedures this month. I don't know why I booked myself like at least two or three doctor's appointments every freaking week this month into February. So that might take up a little extra time. So, and I also have to do inventory for tax season. Some places close while they do inventory. I'm kind of am going to be working on that slowly, but surely, because I don't really kind of give a crap at this point about if my taxes get filed on time or not. So that's just kind of personal stuff I have coming up this month. As of today, good news, we can ship to Canada again through the United States Postal Service. So because of the Canada Post mail strike, the USPS here in America suspended shipments so we couldn't even buy postage through that. The only thing that was available was UPS, which sometimes worked, but other times it was like, okay, this is like $10 or $15 more expensive for whatever reason. So but yay, we don't have to deal with that right now. I still have no idea how and when the tariffs will start impacting supplies, resulting in any price changes and formulation changes, or even product discontinuation. Some things may end up having to be using entirely different packaging. I just don't know. I'm a business. I have to think about these things. And I'd rather not get caught with my pants down, as it were. I did stock up on whatever supplies I could. So, but that's not always feasible because I, can't put 500 pounds of salt in here somewhere. So, also we just want to bring one little thing that I've noticed for our Etsy customers. For whatever reason, and I've talked to Etsy support numerous times, and they seem to not get the issue, but then have a completely BS solution for it. So for customers who place larger orders, like say 20 items, I've had people messaging me like, what the fuck? Why is this costing me $50 in shipping? I'm like, it shouldn't. It's just somehow in Etsy's very antiquated shipping functionality, it just boxes up larger orders and like puts that, well, we don't know if you're going to ship these in multiple boxes or not. I'm like, I have every type of box on here limited or listed. They're like, well, you can go in and do like a fixed price and then do a per item thing. I'm like, it's still weight based. So if someone buys a 1 ounce packet of incense and a 1 pound candle, there's a difference there in what that's going to add up. So if I charge an extra 50 cents per product for a 1 ounce thing and someone puts 10 candles in there, now I'm undercharging on shipping. Or if I do something in Happy Meal, I'm still overcharging for shipping. So most of the time it's okay. But if you're placing a large order on Etsy, let us know if like the shipping seems like way out of whack. It's their functionality is absolute crap. They really haven't done anything about it. They say, oh, we'll take this to our internal team. I'm like, yeah, fuck you will. Because they just keep giving us new bullshit features that we didn't ask for. While not fixing that. Like I can only use United States Postal Service through Etsy. I can buy labels. I use pirate ship for things, so I can, use UPS or whatever. But, in cases where UPS will be way more expensive than it doesn't make sense. So if there's issues, let us know. Also, we don't have that issue on our website. I don't have that issue on any other website where like suddenly I'm like, why did this just charge $50 in shipping for something that should be maybe 20? It also does sometimes do that for international shipping, especially for large orders. Usually, like if it's 2 or 3 things, it's usually not a problem. But once you get up to about 20, it just goes haywire because I don't even know what the issue is. So if there's issue, either go to our website. Don't forget, there are things on our website we can't carry on Etsy because there's stupid policy violations, or policy changes like mature content. So things like our sex magic ritual oil or sexual trauma crystal healing oil, things like that, or some of the other, like from our collaborators, I can't sell our slut water pendants on there anymore because those are no words. Use the naughty words. Can't even use them in tags either. Like I couldn't put in sexy perfume. So there's that. There's herbal restrictions. There's a lot of things like our tinctures and flying ointments. Even the non-toxic ones are no longer available. Like they're really cracking down on a lot of the herbal stuff. So there's that. And so our full catalog is not the only place you'll see our full catalog is our website because that's the only place we can carry everything. So we have very limited stuff on more limited on Amazon. Etsy's a little better with that, but still there's a chunk of things like all our flying ointments, tinctures, anything with naughty words in it, certain things with certain types of herbs. So that won't be on there. Or sometimes there's just limited edition things that it gets hard to keep, the stock in multiple places without fucking it up. So anyways, let us know. Hopefully coming soon. I will admit one of my biggest failings, business wise, is I've been terrible at trying to maintain or even start or keep up with Patreon and YouTube memberships. I'm working on collaborating with other humans who might keep me, up to speed on that, and also having other things because I can't do everything really. I'd like to, I just can't. So that's something that's coming up. And just one thing I wanted to mention too is there are so many AI video channels out there now, which and like the thing that I'm like, oh, this looks interesting, an occult thing. There's a lot of occult ones too, and they're all like, you can tell by watching them, they're all the exact same type thing. Like they're just very monotone, like the same narrator voice that comes out of like ChatGPT or any of these programs. And the AI visual background. And then it's not that they have captions. It's almost like if I were typing, every word coming up on the screen would be as I'm saying it. And it's basically like, okay, great. You made a video of a Wikipedia article. There's no emotional quality. There's no experiential thing. It's just a statement of banal facts that sometimes aren't even correct. Everything is mispronounced. Like there was something, you can always tell that like there's a little thing if they don't catch it. Like certain things, like it doesn't parse it well when you're using it for narration. So there was something where they were talking about is either 45th or 45, and it came out as 4 5s. They're trying to say the 45th president or something, I don't know, or the 45th spirit of the glacier or something. It was like the 4/5 or the 4 5s, or the words are all botched, and it's really bad. And the thing that pisses me off is these channels have tens of thousands of subscribers and their videos have tens of thousands of views. Guys, do better. Support actual humans. Because all this, I mean, I could create, 1,000 videos on every single demon, whatever, by, Chat GPT, whatever bullshit's in there. But like, I want to give you the experiences I'm having, not just regurgitating book crap, and I have to go and check in my YouTube thing now that I'm talking about this, which is why I think I put it on there, is I saw something pop up on my YouTube app on my phone. That's when I went to my channel. It was like something about, do you consent to having your videos used in training for AI? I'm like, I've got to go figure that one out and be like, hell the fuck no. Anyways, but I'm very anti-AI. I think the only thing AI I have used knowingly to this point is, and it's funny because it's not even actually AI or generative, is Adobe's Lightroom added a new generative AI feature, which is literally just the clone stamp from Adobe Photoshop that's existed for 20 some years. I use it sometimes, like if I have a black background and there's like a piece of cat fur. I'm like, okay, we're just gonna stamp this black over this cat fur to cut it out of a photo. That's about all I've done, and that's the same. I just do it all in one program instead of pulling it, doing the main editing in Lightroom, pulling it over to Photoshop to clone stamp that out. I don't really think that's generative AI. I think they're just marketing it as a buzzword. It's not like, I, you know, I'm like, oh no, there's a piece of cat fur. Let's just clone stamp a dinosaur in here, that kind of thing. So, all right, moving along. This is probably some of this is just my own internal processing on things, and some of this is going to be contingent upon tariffs and supplies and things like that coming up. But I've been moving more and more things into the sort of made to order status instead of making like a whole batch of something, because a lot of things like the incense, the loose incense I make, those like a single batch can like burn me out of like several herbs because it just takes like so much to make a full batch of it. So some of those things I'm going to be moving down to doing, because then I'm like, okay, well now I'm sitting on that for, if all of it sells within a year, great. Most of the time it's hit or miss. So some of those but the thing is too, with offering made to order stuff, I can offer you a lot more things than I can't have in stock at all times incense for every single goetic demon, oils for every single goetic demon, down the road. I will custom make things because some people, like, okay, maybe one or two people might use this or might buy it, but it's like I'm not going to sell 200 of it. So, and just thinking with some of the changes and things that are coming up, because I know the economy is probably going to get flushed down the toilet pretty fast, and the tariffs are going to shut up. So I'm looking at, hopefully, staying in business and not being homeless and dying. Probably making some more mainstream, mundane things to kind of balance it out. So I might be making I've been doing a lot of candles. So versus doing, Lucifer devotional candle, I'm still going to make them, don't get me wrong. But like instead of making, a whole bunch of demonic candles, which, I will, I'm just going to bolster that with sandalwood surprise or island dream, whatever. Just some stuff that's a little more broad spectrum, mundane. I may be adding in some like little herb packet blends, or possibly maybe making some magical tea. I have to look into making tea blends a little more closely, because there are some legalities and liability issues that change for things that are ingested, like if you're making food or something like that. So I have to check into some of those details. So this month, or over the past month, we have a bunch of things that are back in stock from Black Magic Barbie. We've got Slutwater, a whole bunch of new Slutwater pendants, some new designs. Some of the Margle F off or find out spray and oil we have back, and a few other things. Some of I think the Azuraludu pendants for the perfect protection ones, and a few other things. She sent me a whole bunch of stuff. So, and also our Flight of the Witches tincture and our Triple Lotus elixir are now back in stock. The thing with the tinctures and elixirs, and again, you can only get those on our website. They just take like a month to brew. So it's not like, oops, I ran out, it'll be back in stock tomorrow. It's like, oops, I ran out, it'll be back in stock in a month if I don't get it, if it may run out in that time in which it's still brewing. So there'll be that. As far as other things go this year, I don't know. It's hard to make plans when, everything's so, as my grandmother would say, verhunzt. I'm not entirely sure what it means, but in context, I'm gonna go with messed up, really, really messed up, or effed up, you know. But as far as me and stuff I'm doing goes, I'm currently learning Ukrainian because I am Ukrainian, so I would like to learn the language a little, and that's been fun because I'm really for my own sanity and health, I need to not doom scroll and spend a lot of time on social media consuming that type of content. So if I want to fiddle around on my phone or my iPad, I'm using Duolingo right now. So like I can do that. So I'm learning Ukrainian. And maybe some Latin so I can make some like bomb ass rituals. I do have some Latin just from when I worked in the medical field that I had training on medical terminology as far as Latin goes. And then the rest of the Latin I know goes from like scientific stuff like, botanical names and things like that. So I know sort of the sciencey and medical Latin. I just kind of wanted to get a broader one with that, but that's a little lesser on my scale of things to learn. I am still working on the Goetia Pathworking series. It's just gone a lot slower than I had initially anticipated because, boy howdy, do they like to put me through, as we like to call it, the spiritual meat grinder. I never can do a week long thing of the pathworking. It's like, no, you've got to do the most intense, months long shadow working stuff that you can possibly imagine. I'm like, can I just like manifest a frog or something? Or make the snow melt? But no. And also on that note, I am working out. I should probably do a video on this too. I may turn it into a book at some point, but I'm working out a process for one of the things I did was sort of ancillary to that was I worked through an entire process of a ritual process of requesting familiars from each of the goetic spirits, and I'm going to kind of do it on down like through the Decante hierarchy and stuff like that as well. So I'm working out the process for that, and I have a few people beta testing it to see if it works. I think it did, and I had a few of my people who do readings and stuff for me and channeling and mediumship type stuff and astral work to see. I'm like, okay, so I pulled in familiar from Bael for whatever. Is that familiar actually here, or with me or whatnot? So I'm going to talk about that much more in depth, but that was something I kind of a random side project that came from a weird thought I had. I was like, how when, you read like, such and such commands a legion of, 66,000 infernals or something. I'm like, I was thinking about, well, what are those? Who are those? What is in those legions? Who are they? Do we work with them as well? Like, how do we access that? So that's kind of what started me on that, was that thought process. So I'm continuing that. I'm working on some of the Decante path working as well, kind of in tandem. And probably the biggest one that I'm going to be doing, I'm in the very early processes of working on this, is I'm going to start working with Sorath, which is that's not like I'll be frank, that's not like a demon I would start out with, like working with on day one, but kind of putting a preliminary plan in place and starting through that. So you might see me making some more videos talking about that. There isn't a whole lot out there about Sorath. So, and lastly, I am also so much free time to do all this stuff. Also, and this goes in tandem with learning the Ukrainian language, I'm exploring my own cultural heritage of Slavic paganism. So I've been doing a deep dive into that. I've been reading a lot of books and, getting in touch with my own, cultural ancestry, my own work, doing ancestor work. Yeah, I have an ancestor altar and stuff like that, but just sort of learning who I am and where I came from, because so much of that history is actually just not there. Like beyond what I know from living and, recently deceased relatives, that's all I know of my family history. Like most of us came over in the late 1890s, early 1900s from the Ukraine. when Russia was being Russia again. So, yeah, just learning a lot more about that. And it's been interesting. And it's also a process of ancestral, healing and integration as well. So, and most importantly, this Christmas, I learned how to make halupkis. I think my grandmother is very proud. My dad was proud too. He's getting older. So, halupkis, they have different, sorry, I'm going on a tangent here, but they have different terms depending on the region. Like sometimes they're Haluskis, I think is the Hungarian, slight variations in spelling. Or halupkis, not bupkis or something like that. But basically they're the rolled stuffed cabbage. I know now how to make them. And the worst part about it is cabbage is a goddamn pain in the ass to work with. Like you've got to stand there with the cabbage in boiling water and then wait until it gets just right to peel it off leaf by leaf and, doing it that way. And boy, howdy, did I, Eastern Europeans will put cabbage in everything. So my dad was also talking about I don't know if I ever had this. If I did, I blocked it out into some sort of childhood trauma memory, but apparently there's a recipe for chocolate sauerkraut cake. I think, now that I'm talking about it, I feel like I can, yeah, I've had that. It's like I feel the stringiness of and tartness, bitterness of the sauerkraut with like chocolate cake. Yeah, well, Eastern Europeans will put cabbage in literally anything. I guess cabbage is very abundant there. Hope to visit someday. If there's one thing I want to do in my life is I want to visit Eastern Europe, visit Ukraine, Czechoslovakia. Well, the former Czechoslovakia, that's just what it was when my ancestors immigrated, but Czech Republic, Slovakia, Romania, Hungary, Poland. What else do I got in there? It's a bunch about Germany. Yeah, I'm mostly Eastern European, so. But yeah, I'll be talking about that more, and you'll see some more videos on that and all those things. I think that's all for now. I will probably have some new candles and product releases coming at some point, just digging out from the holiday season and literally digging it. Well, kind of digging out because it snowed today. So, and I'm finally in the mood to make some videos. I can hear them shoveling outside. And one thing I have to say, I never thought I would want to live in I live in like a condo townhouse complex. Some people own, some people rent, but it's an HOA. And I have to say, the fact that they come, they shovel up to my front door, salt, they plow the lots, they do everything. I don't have to do shit. That's worth its weight in gold, especially, when I have my autoimmune issues and pain flare-ups and stuff like that. So anyways, thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Welcome to 2025, and I hope we all survive. Peace out.